Okay. Alrighty, this is I just got this book yesterday. I want to share it with you. It just came out. It's called Iconic Tarot Decks: The History of Symbolism and Design of Over 50 Decks. And it's quite lovely, this book actually. It's I don't know, it's like a linen, it's a matte finish. It's got some gold in here, and there's some raised parts and embossed. It is embossed. It's by Sarah Bartlett. It's printed by Francis Lincoln. I believe it's a British company. Discover the secrets of the most iconic and mysterious and beautiful tarot decks ever created. And so I'm going to show you this. It's good for a collection. If you have if you're collecting tarot books, I would definitely consider this. And very nice size. The colors are pictures are just beautiful. Now it's divided up. You have a chapter 1 influential decks. You have chapter 2 beginner divination decks. Chapter 3 art and collectors decks. Chapter 4 esoteric and occult decks and contemporary decks. Now there's 50, so there's thousands of decks out there. So you're not going to have all of them, but it's a really nice combination, a nice collection, a nice collection of. I hope I have this all. Let's see what I'm doing here. I'm on my illustrious one and only piano bench. That seems to be okay. Okay, so I do believe this is from the. Is this from the Atella? I don't know. Anyways, it talks about tarot. And you may recognize some, like this is, I have this, the Enchantment Tarot, right? Yeah, the Enchanted Tarot, the Major Arcana. I have that deck. Has a brief guide to the symbolic correspondences and interpretation of each of the cards illustrated. And that's the majors. And then the minors, I guess I didn't even look at this. They talk about the minors, they talk about the elements, and do they talk about the numbers? They talk about the elements, and here, elements and then the suits. And we have some examples over here. Talk about the court cards, and it gives a brief like keywords. Queen of Swords, astute, quick-witted, and shrewd. The queens all represent feminine power, both creative and intuitive. The King of Wands, powerful authority figure. So they talk a little bit about that. Then they talk how to use tarot. They have a spread. They have 2 spreads. They have 3 spreads. I didn't notice this earlier. I just went in for the pictures. A brief history of tarot. And then you get into influential decks. I'm not going to go through the whole book, but I'm going to just, so they have, it's pretty much a page, maybe 4 pages, 2 to 4 pages on each deck. They have some of the pictures of the cards, a few that they choose. And then there's a summary here. It's very easy to read. I like the white. It's not shiny paper, which I prefer. It's a nice heavy paper, white, so it's easy to. It's very readable, which I really like. And then it shows the deck. Well, this has actually 4, 5. This talks quite a bit about this deck. So then you move on. These are the older decks that they have here. Let's see what they call this. Oh, nice, great pictures. Very clear. The history of tarot, and then they have the influential decks. So that's one section. The next section, and they have them in black pages, so you can kind of see where they are when you look at the sides, or you can put some kind of, pieces of paper between them. The beginner's divination decks, and then they have, they talk about it, and they have the Aquarian, and they show a couple of cards. the Morgan Greer. So these are the ones that have been around for quite a long time. The Classic Tarot. Yes, the Classic Tarot. The Universal Tarot, of course. The Mystical Tarot. Enchanted Tarot, which we saw in front. Crystal Visions. Paulina. And the Good Tarot. So some of these are, I thought this was a later deck, but it doesn't, it just says, this one is beginner's divination deck. So this is good decks to have if you're just starting out, I guess. And the Golden Tarot. Okay, so I stopped at this one. I don't know if you watch my channel very much. I have done I did all my Trump readings, my political readings with this deck, the Golden Tarot. And what I found so amazing about this deck is it has a very, old, classic kind of look. And I was struck by, when I was looking at the book, how each card, and it talks about it in this narrative here, how each card is multiple. It's all a collage. It's put together. There's not a picture like this in the universe. She put this together by taking different art from different centuries and putting them together. It was really quite a labor of love. And the book is annotated like you wouldn't believe. I mean, each card tells you where the goose was from, where the table was from, where the background was from. It's pretty amazing deck when you think about all the work she did to put this together. So I was glad to see it in this book. And it's a great deck. High Priestess, of course. And we get into art and collector's decks. Now this one was an interesting one. We have some older ones, which I'm not familiar with this deck. It's called the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance. So these are the Magtegnic Tarocchi, which I don't have. They give it a nice spread. The Myconati Aturia, which I love. I do have that. But this is only one page. Anyways, they have the Metilli Tarocchino, which I am unfamiliar with. So it gives you a good background. Now, these are called art ones, though, which I'm not sure why they would be called art. Well, they are collectors, though, so I guess that's where it comes from, the art. But when you think of art decks that I have, I would think of some other decks. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. So this is kind of a cool deck, the Le Tarot Astrologique. This is probably not in a publication anymore. What a cool deck that looks like. Kind of Art Deco sort of look. John Bauer. Now that's a recent deck that we have, but it was included in this because it is his illustrations. That's a great deck. Tarot of 1001 Nights. I don't have that one. Crystal Tarot is gorgeous. The Dali Universal. The Wild Unknown Tarot. So that's a recent deck, but it is considered art or collector's deck. Now, what's not in here, the Golden Tarot Klimt, the Deviant Mood, which is very modern as well, the Lost Code of Tarot. It's just nice you get to see the pictures, the Prisma Visions, Tarot Noir. That's kind of cool. I wonder who did this. It's 2013. And a Marchetti deck. Now, the thing about this one, there was not the Margaret Peterson. But then I was thinking, you can have your favorite decks. There wasn't the Jeparitza isn't in there either. Those are the two that I was hoping that I thought should have been mentioned or highlighted a little bit. Of course, maybe they were contacted and they didn't want it highlighted. I don't know. But I was kind of disappointed that those two decks weren't there. But there's always going to be decks that you like that other people don't like. So. Now these are the esoteric and occult decks, the Solabusca. And they don't have a lot of pictures from this. Well, yes, they do. Quite a bit written about the Solabusca. The Oswald Worth Tarot. I don't know anything about this one. The English Magic Tarot. This is the one, I did buy this. Chris mentioned this one. This one is very inexpensive on Amazon. I did buy this deck. And talk quite a bit about this. So I'm going to have to look into, I'm going to read that. Of course, Robert Place, his decks are gorgeous. They're very distinctive. Look at that, 5 of Cups. How perfect is that? He has something, I don't know what he does, but it's just very unique and so stark, but so pretty at the same time. The Hermetic Tarot, which I was kind of surprised was in there. The Brotherhood of Light Egyptian Tarot, interesting. Tarot Illuminati. I don't know anything about this deck, but I think I've heard a lot about it. So I'm going to have to read about that. The Via Tarot, I know nothing about. The Splendor Solace Tarot, I know nothing about. Well, I know nothing about a lot of things. The Cosmic Tarot, I have. The Tarot of Holy Light looks very illustrative, almost look to it. And the Rosetta Tarot. So you get to learn about new decks as well. And the contemporary decks are probably is the skinniest part, and it could have been this could have been the Japaritsa, you know. The Dreams of Gaia, of course. This is I don't use the Dreams of Gaia, but I have the small one. I love this deck as far as I think it's beautiful. The small one, the mini, the card stock is great, and the pictures are great. It's just a wonderful thing to have in our collection if you don't already have one. The Bianco Nero Tarot, I don't have this. I'm not crazy about black and white so much. The New Vision, Nefertaris, and Stokes Gothic Tarot made it in here. That's pretty. I never saw this deck. Do you have this deck, Chris?
No.
Oh. Book of Azototh. I don't know anything about that. Shadowscapes, of course, a classic. The Vision Quest. That looks kind of interesting, Native American. The Golden Thread Tarot. I know you like this one, the Golden Thread. You have that, right?
Plastic.
It's a plastic deck? Wow. You know, this is cool. I don't have this deck. Chris has it, so I guess I kind of have it. Should steal it from him. Yeah. The Goddess Tarot. I like the pictures. I tend to, you know, I work in low light a lot. I don't know why. I just said I always seem to have places that don't have good light, and so I stay away from the black and white decks or dark decks. I bought that beautiful, that wonderful. I can't remember the name of it. Everyone was using it about a couple years ago, and it's just too dark. I can't see what's going on when I use it to read. Anyways, so there it is. Now we didn't really see the Rider-Waite-Smith, but I know it's here. Where is it? How to use the tarot? I know they do talk about the Rider-Waite-Smith.
Right.
Yeah, but it should be really highlighted in here. Anyways, this is a great little book, Influential Decks. I think they should be in there, right? Yeah, there it is. No, that's Influential Decks. Let's see. Well, they started with the old ones. You know, now that I see this, I'm wondering. They have the contents, introduction, how to use the tarot, history of tarot, and then they have these, and then they have an index. Okay, let's look at the index. Let's look for the Rider-Waite-Smith and see what page it's on. Let's say 56 to 63. 56 to 63. 56. There we are. There we are. And this is under Influential Decks. Well, that makes sense. So they have quite a bit written about the Rider-Waite-Smith. Nice pictures. They talk about Waite, Coleman Smith, the symbology. So it talks about the history of the deck. And then it goes also into the Crowley deck. So I don't know. This is a really nice book. I like it. And I'm going to read all about the decks. So I'm going to be very smart. Be very educated about decks. And a lot of illustrations, very clean, interesting. And I said, they did with the Golden Tarot, Cat Black's Golden Tarot was right on the money. I mean, talking about how it was created, which is remarkable. So, if you are want to add to your collection of tarot books, I would strongly suggest you buy this one. Oh, it's getting dark in here because of the sun. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.